Hey team, Patrick here. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how you can develop your rally skills, which we know can be really challenging to learn or if you're trying to teach someone. But once you master this, gives you endless opportunities to play and enjoy the sport of tennis. Now, in this lesson, I'll focus more on the technical elements, but I can also do a separate video on some drills if that's something you'd like. So let's get into it. So it starts with a good ready position. We need this athletic base and be ready to pounce. I would have your dominant hand at the bottom of the racket so you can play your forehand, and you don't need to switch the position of your hands to play a backhand, and recover to a position with two hands on the racket every time, whether you play a one-handed backhand or a two-handed backhand, and be behind the baseline so you have this space to move to the ball and not in no man's land, which I often see where you're going to have to play the shot going backwards and you're often going to be on the back foot. You can see the whole court in front of you and can step in to every ball. Next, a really simple reference point I use is beat the bounce. Can you prepare and get your racket back before the bounce so you can make contact out in front? As most players wait for the ball to bounce before taking their racket back, causing them to be late and often hit the ball into the net. So the specific sequence to follow is to set up the shot, move, hit, and then recover. Set up the shot, move, hit, and then recover. So you get behind the ball and adapt your feet and your body position to that particular ball. We should be sideways on to the court. So think about aligning your front shoulder in the direction you want the ball to go as you prepare the shot. So you can swing up and out in the direction of your target, and what we call stay on line with the ball. So you may need to move more than you think. It does take lots of little adjustment steps to get set up in this position. You want to be far enough back behind that you hit the ball as it begins to drop. As a falling ball will give you more time, which is necessary in skill development, and it will stop you from running into the ball and getting jammed. Your contact point should be to the side and just out in front. So as a beginner, start with the racket closer to this point so you don't lose this connection with the ball that happens when we take too big a swing. A common problem I see if players are struggling to keep the ball in play is the misconception that the ball should be just barely skimming over the net. But really, we need some height. And I say if we're rallying, the ball should be going twice the height of the net or above head height as it crosses the net. We do this by getting the racket below the ball, coming from underneath the ball. So if we reference the top of the ball's bounce, let's say it was going to be around chest high, I'm not swinging to level, but low to high, up and out. So I get this height, depth, and possibly top spin that I'm looking for. The other mistake I see is when players actually get overconfident too early and start really going for it. And that's when the mistakes come in. Then they go the other way, back to being cagey and pushing the ball, rather than keeping the technique, but slowing the speed down. You still want to finish all the way with the follow through in what I call with the kids, the big nose finish. And remember, the size of the swing and the speed are two different things. Right team, I hope this video helps new players, coaches, or even friends and family members trying to get somebody into tennis. Like I say, these aren't the only ways, but some of the things I like my beginners to do. And if this video has helped, please leave it a like. Let me know in the comments down below what you think, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on court in the next one. Cheers guys.